No, the two of them together is just really not.
It's very problematic.
Neither one of them have any sort of.
Because we don't care and
No,
we just
we don't.
act stupid.
No, absolutely. Can I ask what the Tuscan shrimp and rice is?
What it is?
Well, I mean, it's Tuscan shrimp and rice. I get that.
It's it'll take a while to make it, especially since he's got to leave.
Okay.
And he makes that.
Okay.
Are you hungry? Like get it.
I'm not starving.
We got Karen Harris. By the way, see what? And do you want to mention delicious food on the menu? Make sure you check that out. Delicious. I also, I want to give a shout out to my boy Panda because we both perform out at the Renaissance Fair. So. And he is very well known for not being messy. So not something that's easy to say about people at Renaissance Fair. You know, Renaissance Fair people. You know what? My material might just go out the window that I had planned for tonight.
Do it.
I'll also be taking a request. Before a couple back there's like, oh shit, all inside jokes. Hey, remember that time the Panda was waiting to end yeah.
Woo.
And when Sean got in, you Captain America. Actually, I bet all this one.
That's why I'm out here with y'all. I love St. Louis, but I had to leave though because shit was getting crazy out there. I got shot at once, you know. That was my last time, you know. When bullets start flying by, there was so much pee on the floor. Let me just say that. But St. Louis, home of the Cardinals.
Kinda.
Yeah, fuck y'all too. Okay.
Go Cubs.
I just wanted to see what y'all response was gonna be. I'm doing a science project. I'm just trying to see how many people I pissed off by saying Cardinals.
Cubs.
I pissed off this old lady at the Walmart. She saw my Cardinals hat. Oh my God. Say that again. Nellyville, isn't that where Nelly lives? I almost sent that ass back to the Jersey Shores. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all know about Nelly, right? Y'all like Nelly?
We know about
I know white people love Nelly. Hold on. White people love Nelly. As soon as hot in here come on, y'all take your clothes off and shit.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's 0 below, you know what I'm saying?
That's like the only one.
You say what?
It's literally the only one.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Don't nobody else know what he's saying on the other ones.
No.
Man, 2025 has been crazy already, hasn't it? All the fires in California. I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and she was on Facebook. She was complaining about the area she lived in. She was like, I need a change in my life. God damn. I thought it was a good performance. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm through with the damn song now. They not like us out. The fuck? Shit. That was like, it was good, you know, it was the next old summer song, right? But damn, this is going on a year now. I'm not the same person I was, you know, over the summer. We get it. They not like us. I get it. My bad. Seen some white people behind me, so. Just making sure everything cool, you know. But yeah, that song, you know, my nephew. The Voodoo Man just walked in. Look at this. Look at God. I told you the law of attraction is real. My grandma got one of them. My grandma got one of those. I cannot make this shit up. I say all this to say, now you see how wild that shit was. Leave voodoo alone. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Alright, we don't need no more January 6th up in this motherfucker, okay? All that shit that happened, that was voodoo. That's what that was. That was some voodoo. Gone, but not forgotten. Just like that $20 that bitch still owes. She gone, but I ain't forgot about that $20. I'll be smoking weed listening to gospel music. Is that a sin? No. He made it, didn't he? He knew what I was going to do with this shit. How else y'all supposed to get the most high? You feel me? Amen. This is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Man. Anybody be going to the strip clubs? All the time?
No, not in a long time.
I was about to say, all the time. That's how y'all be. Y'all look like I'm going to the strip club. You look like you be sitting there doing that stuff. Slapping the stripper booty and shit. You can get away with that. But don't go, if you ever go to St. Louis, don't go to East St. Louis. And don't go to their strip clubs, all right? That's a different experience. Right? Hold on to your keys and all that shit. You can't trust them strippers out there. Last time I went to a strip club out there, and big booty bitch came over here and shaking on me and everything. I was like, ooh, this is cool. Her name was Tanya. As soon as she got up off of me and she went up that damn pole, I was like, hold on, this bitch got my phone and everything. Hey, bitch, get back up here. Where the fuck you going? She climbed up the pole and got up out of there. Took my goddamn EBT card. I had to go grocery shopping, all right? But Vicky Lynn, y'all, she was the one that got me into comedy out here, introduced me to Marcos. Matter of fact, when I met Marcos, I thought he was my drug dealer from St. Louis. I almost bought some weed from him. But the one thing that Vicky always taught me, she said, and this is one of the last things she told me before she died. She said, every time that you go on stage, you go hard. So I took her advice. And I popped about 2 Viagra before I got up here. Hey, how's up here? Nasty motherfucker. I'm just lying. I ain't taking no Viagra. I took about 2 of them honey packets. Y'all ever had them honey packets?
What's that?
Lean Guardian Leviosa.
Yeah. That should have gone with the Rick Ross reference. I should have gone with my regular one. I was something that was like Steve Urkel joined the Nation of Islam, but.
You're good.
And no, I was gonna go some other direction. I'm not even gonna go there now, but
No, you gotta go there now.
Okay, fine. Since Cameron brought up, losing some people this year and such. We got any punk rock fans in the house? Nope. Okay, I'm not going in that direction. Rest in peace, David Johansen. All right. Now I'll move on. No, you know what? Cameron was talking about he's like tired of the Kendrick Lamar song "Not Like Us" and his beef with Drake. And I love the song myself. I know some people thought that it was like, oh, because Drake's mixed or because Drake's part Jewish. This next gentleman coming to the stage, he performs in theaters and Renaissance fairs all over the country. Like I said, he's even been in movies with Steve Martin. Please put your hands together for my very good friend, Mr. Phillip Earl Johnson.
Yeah, so you say I did all that and then it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody gives a shit. But thank you. My name is Phillip Earl Johnson. I have a show called Mooney the Magnificent that I do at Renaissance fairs around the country for the last 35 years. Basically, I whistle and I do tricks.
Yay!
It's more than that, but it doesn't really fucking matter. So, you said, Cameron, you said earlier that you were surprised that the white people were doing voodoo. But considering the history, if you're doing it, then like 5 minutes later, we're going to be doing it later. You know that. So you shouldn't be too surprised that we are appropriating all of your shit, right? So you shouldn't be surprised.
Very cool.
You shouldn't be surprised. Yeah. How did I get into it? How did I start doing shows? One of my buddies calls me up and he says, "You want to audition for the Renaissance Fair?" I said, "What the hell is that?" And he said, "Well, it's this festival where there's jousting and there's turkey legs and the ladies wear the tight things, you know, like hoping for a titty to pop out, you know. And sometimes it does, and I can tell you
That is true.
that it's like for a house. I've never told anyone this in public. It's highly uncomfortable. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it. I had a whole other thing planned. Going there. And so we go and we park the car. And she gets out and she goes out of the house. And about like 3 minutes later, this dude in a towel comes out of the house screaming at the top of his lungs, you motherfuckers, how fucking, you fucking fuckers. And I'm like, dude, you can keep her. We don't care. She wants to come with us. Keep her. We're done. It's fine. And he goes, okay, if you touch her, I'll fucking kill you. I'm like, keep her. We don't care. So he goes in the house, and then we go, and this girl is into me, but I am not into her. I just wasn't into it. And so we get back to the house, and we go into this trailer, because we've been up all night, and it's just me and my friend and her. And I'm not into it. So I go to the bathroom, and I wait for a half an hour in the bathroom, because I know my friend. And when I come back into the trailer, she's in the bunk with him. And because I know him, and I climb onto the top bunk. And I just go to sleep. And I wake up about half an hour later, and the trailer's rocking. I got him laid twice.
That's where I saw it.
Oh.
Yeah. Back then it was different. We used to get completely covered in mud. Utterly and completely covered in mud. There was in the end of the year, we would take a bale of hay and squirt lighter fluid on it, and in front of about 300 people, one of the dudes would jump off the stump and put, because we're totally covered in mud, and we would put out the fire that was on the hay bale with our bodies. And the guy who was supposed to do it that day, he got too drunk. And in the middle of the show, I was mooning the mudmaker back then, and he goes, Moonbeam, I can't do it. I'm too fucking drunk, I can't do it. I'm like, Vicky, it's okay. I'll do it. Because I was 21, I was between my junior and senior year of college, and I was the young buck, so I wanted to prove to the older guys that I could do it. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm covered in mud, and it's this flaming bale of hay, and I'm up on the stump, and I jump in the air, but it was all adrenaline and me trying to like prove that I was some cool shit that I could get the shit done under the, and in the middle of the air, I realized that I was not into it. But it was too late. But like a cat, like a Catholic in the Reformation, you know, I like was twisting in the air, and I missed the hay bale on purpose. And there's like 200 people. We had already set it up, so it was the most pathetic thing you ever saw. I started panning the fire out of my hands. And there was just this like roar of disappointment. So, yeah, that was another fucking failure. So, I don't know if you saw me, but so you've been to the Renaissance Fair?
Multiple times.
Okay, have you ever seen me do my show?
I don't think so.
It's not the kind of show I'd recommend if I weren't in it. Like, hey, we're down here, we have value too. We make you glad that you're not like us. How about some change? So we would make some money. In fact, we made so much money in coins throughout the day that we filled a red toolbox that was so heavy it hurt to carry to the car at the end of the day. But it was all coins, right? And there was no coin star. This was 1986. So it took 3 dudes 2 hours
to sort, clean, and stack all of that change locked in a bedroom with one lamp with a bare bulb, listening to Tom Waits sing. "Oh, your uncle's not terribly, and your dad already hates him." And we're smoking dope and drinking beer. We're surrounded, literally surrounded by quarters, dimes, and nickels, and we were cackling with laughter like we had made it rich, right? And we had to roll all of those and put them into paper tubes so that we could take them to the bank on Monday and deposit them. Well, the pennies we threw into a bucket. The plan was to take the pennies at the end of the fair, to drive into Boston and have a celebratory dinner. We were going to turn the pennies into dollars, turn the dollars into lottery tickets, and then turn the lottery tickets into retirement. Didn't go exactly like that, but that was the plan. So we drive up to Boston, and it was over 8,000 pennies, which you probably haven't done the math, but I will tell you. At about 145 pennies per pound, that was 55 pounds of pennies that we brought into Boston in a dirty old yellow pillowcase. I was the youngest guy in the crew at that time, so I was the penny Sherpa. So I carried 55 pounds of pennies on my shoulders, wandering through downtown Boston, trying to find a bank with a machine to count them. But no one would count them. Do you have an account here? Oh, no, we don't. Sorry, we don't have a machine. It's like they just don't want to do it. I get it now. Like, I understand the hesitation now. Like, it was probably the first time I had ever seen three long-haired, bearded guys in black biker jackets bringing loot into the bank, right? So we're on the sidewalk and we're like, we couldn't find anywhere to turn the pennies into dollars. But in the distance, we're mud beggars. That's what we do. My name was Mooney the Magnificent. There was Lutilla Fair Dinkum. There was Spiny Nodules. There was Hack Patooey. We had funny names, okay? So in the distance, here comes a guy. And he's tall. He's thin. He's got a long beard and long hair. He's dirty. And he looks like the real deal. And I just knew that he was going to put pennies on my shoulders. And sure enough, he gets there and he's filthy. He hasn't had a bath in years. And he turns to me and he goes, "Spare some change?" And I was so excited. Like, how often do you get to really fucking blow somebody away, right? And I took my shoulders and I turned it like this, and I let the pillowcase hit the ground. And that change smacked onto the sidewalk, and that chain of money rang out over that late afternoon October Boston traffic, and that dude who was dead inside just lit up like he had hit the Powerball. Without asking my buddies, I reach in and I take a double handful of pennies out, and I hand them over to him in reverse Oliver Twist fashion, as if to say, "Here, sir, would you like another?" And he looks down at the pennies and he says, "Pennies?" And I did not clock his change in tone. And I said, "Yes, they're yours." And he says, "No, thanks." And he turns and he keeps on walking, leaving the three of us standing there just dumbfounded, like three dorks in a three-dork forest. Till one of my buddies said, "Well, I guess he's been to the same banks we have." But he changed our luck. And we found a bank right after that, changed it into dollars, changed the dollars into lottery tickets. And we won nothing. But we worked hard for it. It was 7 weeks, 56 shows, countless hours laying in the dirt, begging for money, driving up, carrying pennies, turning it in. guy was a veteran. He already had enough disappointment. He just said, no, thank you. And he walked away. One-on-one. Would you agree that that's probably the hardest part of your job, is like dealing with the indignity of the way they treat you, or they're just insane? Like, what would you say is the single hardest thing about your job? About that? Like, what kind of person gets under your skin the most? I can tell you what irritates me the most in my job.
I picked that job not to deal with the people who walk in the truck for 9 hours without anybody. I like it.
Oh, so you have a truck. You don't drive with anybody. Oh, I see. Oh, so you just love it. You love all 9 hours? Dude, you're my hero. That's good. Are you a driver too? What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse?
Oh, yes!
Okay, here's a question. She's a nurse and she's a nurse. They're friends of mine. And I don't mean to be personal, but every single nurse that I knew, and I asked this question, and it's going to be unplugged, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you've been listening to me be uncomfortable all night, so it doesn't matter, right? So, have you ever had a patient who had put something in their butt that they couldn't get out? No? Okay. Have you?
Those are ER nurses.
Oh, ER nurses. Okay.
That's ER.
Oh, that's only ER?
Yes, they don't know. They stay in the ER.
Because all the nurses act like they all know about it, that I talk about it.
Well, wait.
What?
Chris said they stay in the ER. Does that mean the people stay in the ER or you stay in the ER?
That seems like a horrible thing that you have to deal with. Like, and then you have to put like a good bedside manner. You know, it doesn't matter how you got it in there. Like, we're just gonna have to figure out a way to get it out.
Fell on it. That's
Awesome.
always that slip.
Right. It's always an accident.
It's an accident. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
Anybody get fired? Has anybody been fired from a job?
I have.
You got fired?
Kind of.
Yeah? I've been fired from every single job I've ever had, other than being a performer. But I haven't had another job since I was 24 years old, other than being a professional entertainer. Thanks. Thank you very much. 4 kids, stay-at-home mom for a wife, and that is the life that I stay-at-home mom for a wife. Yeah. That's the life I got, and I was very lucky to do it. I'm 61 now, but I wasn't always doing my own show. Thank you. I wasn't always doing my own show. I got hired long ago. I was 24 years old. I think maybe I was 23. It doesn't matter. To work for a male strip group.
Wait, what?
I'm not afraid to dance, but those were not the services that they needed.
Wait, what?
They needed me to be the MC of a show. And my job was to say things like, yeah, ladies, you've seen him in the grocery aisle. He's got the beans, you've got the bacon. You know? My job was to remind the ladies to keep putting dollars inside their little banana hammocks, right? Now, the job only paid $50 a show. But it was 1987. My rent in Chicago at that time was $135, and I needed that $50. So I did it. And they also needed me to stall for 5 minutes after the last dancer. The last dancer would finish, and he would go in and rest, because they were going to invite all the ladies out to the dance floor. All the dancers were going to come out, and they were going to have a whole skate together. And that was the worst part of the show, because I was funny, but I was definitely not funny saying dumb shit into the microphone while 4 meatheads covered in brown butter fluffed in the dressing room, right? Each show was the worst 5 minutes of my life. It was definitely not working. So I needed a plan, and here's what I did. Each dancer had 4 dances, And then the dancers would come out. Each dancer had a character we had to do. So it was like, and in that I just stood there and kind of like wiggled back and forth like someone had a gun to my head, you know, like I was in Deliverance or something. And when it got to that climax, every little thing she does is magic, I started dancing. And I started putting on my clothes. I slithered into my pants. I did a butt spin and put my socks on. I did the worm, put the t-shirt on, and awesomely the ladies got the joke. They started screaming and they started hollering, and unexpectedly they started throwing money at me. It was raining money, and I needed that $50, so those extra dollars that were coming were very welcome. Unfortunately, that was the sound of laughter was unprecedented for my set, and the dancers came out to see what was going wrong. And when they saw me dancing and making more money than they made dancing 4 songs, they were not happy. So that was my last night with the Mantastics. That was it. Yeah. So, I was 17 years old. I was my first year doing Renaissance fairs, and my job was I was the guard for the evil sheriff. My job was to be in front of him with a pole and say, "Make way for the sheriff." Nobody gave a shit. Now, the sheriff was awesome. He was scary and he was evil. And they decided to hang him on the last day. Were you there?
I've seen it. I know where you're going.
Awesome. Hardly anybody goes back that far, because this is true. This is 1981, and they passed sentence on the sheriff, and they were going to hang him. So they bring him out on a horse, and he's got his hands tied behind his back, and they put the noose around his neck, and it's a gaff. That's a movie term. Like it's a trick. So he's got a harness on underneath, and they hook the noose to the harness back here. The king passes sentence. They slap the horse's butt. The horse moves forward. The sheriff falls. He's got a bag over his head, and he wiggles for about a minute, and he dies. And there's about 1,000 people around watching it. And it wasn't played for comedy, it was played for keeps. And it was in dead silence that we watched this guy die for a minute. Like, wow, that's intense. And I know, because I was there. I was 17 years old. I was in that circle of people watching my boss die. And I thought, these are my people. And over 40 years later, I'm still making a living doing my show, traveling around the country. I'm just glad it still works. So, Marcos and I are going to make love later.
Yeah.
And we can't wait. So, I got to go. Heads up, big round of applause for Cameron, too. He gave me some good ideas. My name's Phillip Earl Johnson, and I'm an asshole. Thank you.
She's like a Midwestern Marilyn Monroe.
I'll take it.
Instead of the 7-year itch, it's the 7-season itch. Because we have 7 seasons in the Midwest on a weekly basis. But I did bring my merch. I got these little magnets that say "Love Sees No Color." Love Sees No Color. Check those out. They're normally selling for $2. You know what? Whatever you feel like paying for them, I'll do it.